Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jessica Nicole. I'm a self-published author of YA fantasy romance novels, and in today's video we're actually going to be going from nothing to everything when it comes to a book description for the novel that I just finished. Technically it is not completely finished because I still need to do a little bit of editing, but for the most part, book's done, the story's told. Everything is kind of set in stone. If I do change something, it's gonna be something really minor. So I figure no time like the present to finally write the book description that I have been trying to write for this story since I started writing it in July. I usually do not struggle with coming up with a summary from the books. Like, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this, and I just don't know why this one is giving me so much trouble. But nevertheless, we are here, and I'm just gonna kind of go through it. When I finish it, I'm gonna just read it to you guys basically. But what I have so far is I have like this big huge like brain dump of a summary like on my Notion, and I'm gonna try to whittle that down to something I can use. So I'm gonna show you here on the computer. Yeah, and it just kind of keeps going from there. It's pretty long, like it's a lot. So I cannot put that on my book description on Amazon. For one, it doesn't really make sense at this point. I just like dumped my whole idea, every idea I have for this book onto this page before I even started writing the story. So things in this have changed. Like, things in this don't even happen in the actual story. So I'm gonna have to go in and change this. I don't know why I like blocked out that I had to do this, because the book's coming out next month, and I want to put it up for pre-order in the next couple days. So yeah, let's get to work here. Okay, so right off the bat, I see something that I want to change. I start off, my first sentence is, Crimson and her mom moved to the middle of nowhere after a series of animal attacks in the area make them concerned for her grandmother's safety. Okay, so number one, I write in a specific genre, a specific niche of the fantasy genre. I write not only fantasy romance, but I write YA fantasy romance. So one thing I want to always make sure I do is to include the ages of my main character in my book description. So I say Crimson and her mom, so you can assume that she's a kid, but from that she could be 17, which she is, or she could be 7. So I'm gonna change that to 17-year-old Crimson. My main character's name is Crimson because I've mentioned this a lot before, but if this is your first video, Moonshot is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, and Crimson is just a play on red, and I spell it with a Y instead of an O, just because if I named my kid Crimson, that's how I would do it. Okay, so see, this didn't happen. So my second sentence, it says, Crimson gets detention on her first day of school after not backing down from a fight. The queen bee of the school picks with her. So actually, that's not what happens. She does get detention on her first day of school, but that is not why. So I need to change that. The streets of the town are deserted. Okay, so I don't really need that detail there, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. I'm gonna say, but since Trouble and Crimson have always been friends. kind of preface her detention thing, because it's kind of like bad luck kind of follows her in a way. She doesn't go looking for trouble. Trouble comes looking for her a lot, which might. Oh, I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, so like this is basically how I write. If you don't, I know when I do my writing vlogs, you just kind of, I usually just put like voiceover or music behind it, but I literally will sit there and type something and then backspace it and type it when something better comes into my head or something. I don't know. I know most people, they just will write the story all the way through, but I never really have like a first draft. Like I will write and then go back and change it. So like my first draft is my last draft, but I've changed every line in it at least 20 times before you see it. So yeah, I'm gonna say Crimson isn't one to go looking for trouble, but it's never had a problem finding her. Crimson doesn't exactly go looking for trouble. Go looking for trouble, but it's never had a problem finding her. Okay, then I want to mention the detention on the first day of school thing, because that's kind of our inciting incident. It's when things start to change for her, and like they're never the same again. So I might say case in point, and I don't even know how that phrase goes. I think it's like case and point, but I'm gonna check that with Google just to make sure, because sometimes you're saying things and you think you're saying them right and it means something totally different. Like for example, when I was a kid, I used to think like the Pledge of Allegiance for the United States of America was one and invisible instead of one and indivisible. So I don't know. I'm just gonna check that. But yeah. Case in point, the fact that she's probably the only new kid in history to get detention on her first day of school. Random, but comment down below if you ever got detention. I used to get detention all the time, not because I was a bad kid, but because I was always late for class. Like I was always late for first period, which I didn't have any control over. Like I got to school when my mom brought me to school, but all through junior high, like I was in detention every day after school, because my school, it's actually the school I work for now, but my school had a policy back then, like if you were late, if you had 3 tardies, you have after school detention. So yeah, I was a regular in detention with the bad kids, but whatever. But no, I'm not calling you a bad kid if you got detention all the time, but just let me know, and let me know what you got detention for if you've ever gotten detention before. I once got it for dress code too, just because, but dress codes are silly. So to get detention on her first day of school, when her mom's shift at the hospital runs late. When her mom's, because her mom is a nurse, I think I made her mom a nurse. I might have changed that, so I might need to go back and read my own book and make sure I didn't like make that up in my head. On her mom's shift at the hospital, turns into overtime. Sin has pulls the hood of her red pulls her red hood up to guard against. Sin pulls her red hood up and starts off for her grandma's house. The second thing I want to make sure I'm doing is making it sound intriguing without giving too much away. So it's kind of a fine line that I'm walking. For instance, I'm at a point right now where I could easily tip over that line one way or the other. So the sentence reads, "But with the forest hiding secrets and the sky a dark abyss, what should have been an uneventful walk home turns into a date with destiny and a deal with a monster." So I'm alluding to what's gonna happen, but if I left it there, it's kind of leaving something to be desired. So there's a difference between creating intrigue and your book description feeling lacking in some way. So that's the second thing I'm going to be on the lookout for. So I'm going to keep going. Okay, so I think I've got it. I think I've nailed it down. It's not set in stone, obviously, but I think I don't see it changing too much. So here we go. 17-year-old Crimson and her mom moved to the middle of nowhere after a series of animal attacks in the area make them concerned for her grandmother's safety. Crimson doesn't exactly go looking for trouble, but it's never had a problem finding her. Case in point, the fact that she's probably the only new kid in history to get detention on her first day of school. With her time served and her mom's shift to the hospital stretching late into the night, Sin puts her red hood up and starts walking home. But with the forest hiding secrets and the sky a dark abyss, what should have been an uneventful walk home turns into a date with destiny and a deal with a monster. When she finds herself in need of rescuing, courtesy of an unlikely hero. But he could use a little rescuing. I said two, but I might change that to himself instead of two, I don't know. But he could use a little rescuing too. But he could use a little rescuing himself. I'm going to change it to himself, I think. That sounds a little bit better. When the wolf prince takes the mortal peasant as his bride to save them both, the two embark on a fake dating adventure that is full of scandal, drenched in danger, and shrouded in a mysterious fate as changing as the moon. So yeah, that's what I have so far. I wonder if I want to change up that last line a little bit. And shrouded in a fate as changing and mysterious as the moon. A mysterious fate as changing as the moon. No, I'm gonna leave it. I like it the way I have it better. Okay, so that is basically how I write a book description. That's me puzzling through what I want to say about this book, what I want you to know about this book before you read it. Basically, I have established the age of my main character. I have given the main highlights of the story and set up the premise of the story. And I have also given enough information about the plot to create interest, but not so much that I give too much away. So and that's gonna basically conclude this video. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful or entertaining for you, whatever. Don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see from me. I'm going to be posting a lot more and I'm really excited about it. I have some fun stuff planned, but I do always want to know what you guys want to see, so let me know. And hopefully you're excited for Moonshot. It's coming out next month because it's January 2023 right now, coming out February 2023. This is the first book in a duology. And yeah, both books will be out this year, so I'm super excited about them. And yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling now and go ahead and end this video. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.